Alright, so this is the part 2 of the video. There's no way I was gonna finish, like a long hiatus with like a 3-5 minute video. I actually don't know how long the video is gonna be, but like a short video, I don't think it's gonna be fair for you guys. So this is like more of a laid back, chill type of video. No memes thrown at you, no sound effects thrown at you. So what I'm gonna do right now is I actually asked Reddit for the same opinions. So what we have here, as you can see, what are some things that y'all hate about our own fans? I'm trying to make a video just for fun, and I want to make it on how frustrating it is to see how overreacted we can get as Bucks fans, especially on IG. And I just got curious what you guys thought as well. So far, I've been thinking of the Dame, Giannis, okay, you guys kind of get the point, right? And then I actually got 73 comments on this, y'all. 73, I never had this much clout anywhere. In the beginning, it was just more for more inspiration, but then I felt like it's not gonna do the justice for the people who actually commented on this, so I'm gonna try and include everybody's opinions here. So let's begin. The people who have been begging to trade Chris every year since 2019, and then I loved how everybody was like chiming in and agreeing on this. Like, I agree with this take so much. Give me a second here. If you are a Bucks fan and you think Chris Middleton should be traded, especially after the championship season and what he's shown, like clutch abilities and his 40-point performances and all that, and even with Giannis out, he was the one who pretty much carried our team. If you think that, stop being a Bucks fan, go support. I'm pretty sure Lakers bandwagon is open right now, or I don't know, like I'm pretty sure the other bandwagons are really open right now, so I think you guys can go sign with them. Anyways, back to the thread. Asking for Bud back all season long and 46 upvotes. And yes, I had to reply to that. How did I forget this one? People who were begging to get Bud fired was the one who are asking him back. We were begging him to be fired all day long. Every time we lost, it was, Coach Bud sucks. Why do we have Coach Bud? And then now we want him back, and like we're on our knees for Coach Bud. I'm happy with where we're at. I'm not sure if Bud would have been the solution to everything. He is pretty much just a coach that we were always like terrified of. We would keep on saying that he's not making adjustments. After the Heat series, everybody wanted him gone. Everybody was tired of him. He was not making adjustments, and people wanted him gone as quick as possible. And we got just that. So I don't know. And this whole Bud saga is really annoying me as well. Shitting on people for making mock trades / signings. My brother in Christ, it's the off season and people are bored. No reason to call someone a dumbass for hypotheticals. I have two sides from it, and this guy's getting hated a lot here, and he's calling people dumbasses for, hypotheticals, which I kind of agree to an extent, not like this. But I do kind of agree to an extent where I do see really dumb hypotheticals being made. And one of them is obviously revolving around Chris Middleton, or some of them would be like, oh yeah, so we're going to give up Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton in return for Anthony Edwards. That is not happening, y'all. But then at the same time, there are very optimistic and a little realistic mock trades. I haven't looked at them a lot of them, but then every time I see some, I'll be like, okay, this is not that bad. This might happen for both parties. We might lose, but then sometimes we do have to make what seems like a losing trade at the time. I'm kind of half and half on this take. They don't understand the NBA rules just regarding mandatory stars or starts for stars. I think the rule sucks, but so many people chirping that we should just sit Giannis for 50 games during regular season to save him for the playoffs. It is not gonna happen in today's NBA. For me, I actually love that rule. I think if you're getting paid millions just to play basketball, I think you should be able to play 82 games, or at least play all the games that you're healthy for. I mean, players with even worse technology back in the days were doing it, and that was the standards. Why not do it in 2024? But yeah, I do hate it when people say, oh, they should just sit Giannis, and I hate this because I am actually from Vancouver, and Messi actually just played in Vancouver, and he did a no-show because he said pretty much he didn't want to travel with the team. People say he didn't want to play on turf, but he already played on turf before, so that's not the reason. And Miami literally said the turf wasn't the reason. It is a pretty long travel, but people are disappointed. They're once in their lifetime, at least one person in the crowd is once in their lifetime to see their favorite players play. And if Giannis just has to rest, and that's the only reason he doesn't show up, I'll be pretty disappointed too, right? Like, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see Drew Holiday play when they visit the Raptors here. Imagine people who travel to Milwaukee. By the way, if they're traveling to Milwaukee, they're going to watch the Bucks, drink beer, and eat cheese. And if one of those three goes wrong, I would feel pretty mad too, right? So I don't think that's a really good thing to do. Like, resting your star players is just a shitty thing to do. Pat Connaughton slander, like he isn't his own actual planet. And I commented on this because I do really agree with this. I'm gonna read it out here. It says, I feel like a lot of new fans are way too quick to slander the OG Bucks players and don't understand why they got these contracts. Planet Pat was such a big reason why we won in 2021. For those who hasn't been keeping up with Pat Connaughton or the Bucks in 2021, he was pretty much he was one of our best players. If I'm being honest, he was shooting lights out from three. At a point, he was shooting 50% from three. At one point, he had the most made threes. I think he finished top 3 in most made threes when it comes to the finals. And his defense was spectacular on Devin Booker. Like, Devin Booker, yeah, he dropped multiple 40 points, but if you really watch those clips, he was not giving him any room. And in the way he kind of drew charges here and there with his face, like being so fearless, going out for offensive rebounds, he deserves all the credit. Every Bucks fan scapegoat used to be Pat Connaughton, but after that, Pat Connaughton is one of our guys where we kind of let it slide, even though he has a bad game, because he's one of those OGs who won the thing. And here's Goobers2, and I absolutely cooked this guy here, but that's for another thing. He says Pat isn't an OG, blah 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 blah, and in a respectful way, I respectfully cooked the shit out of him. Wonderbread6969 says that in general, we have overall become more focused on the negatives rather than the positives. That's just the price of being more successful. I think that is how it goes. When they were bad, obviously they're gonna focus on the positive. Like, them being bad isn't a news to it. It's like, oh yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks are so bad. Everybody knows that, right? So they want to try and focus on the positive. They want to know, like, oh, this guy Giannis that we drafted, he's showing potential. That's something that's why they wanted to focus on the positives. But now we are a contender. So obviously if we say, oh yeah, so we should be going for the title, that's the obvious. So what we want to look at now is the flaws, right? It's more of like, oh yeah, we got Dame, but our defense is much worse now after Drew left, Wesley Matthews left, Javon Carter left, stuff like that, you know. So in a way, I do kind of see where he's coming from. So there are a lot of pessimistic fans where we will lose one game and we'll be like, this series is over, oh my god. Overall, I think this is just a natural thing if the team gets better and better. The lack of patience, acceptance of tough situations. Maybe instead of blaming Doc for this season, we accept we built our roster with the intention of having Drew instead of one of the better offensive guards of the era and had 2 superstars out, and therefore may be difficult to truly assess this roster. 100%, 1000%, gazillion% agree with this take. Bucks fans are so quick to jump. I'm not even sure if it's Bucks fans, but they're quick to jump and blame blame Doc Rivers for every time we lose. And then another thing that they don't realize is Dame pretty much came, like, did he even have training camp? That's the thing. Like, even if he did, he barely had that. So he never had that time to develop preseason. You know, our team was really structured around Drew, Chris, and Giannis, and then all of a sudden Drew is gone. So John Horst doesn't have much time to, you know, rebuild that type of core. So this offseason is a test for John Horst. But at the time, it was too short of a time for him to even come up with something. And now they want to blame John Horst. They want to blame Doc Rivers, blame Dame, blame the last guy on the bench. Like, I don't know, they even blame someone like Ty Washington, who knows? So I think they just got to be more patient. I'm not too worried about this year's exit. Last year's exit was pretty sad. This year's, I just saw more hope. I was like, whoa. So Indiana Pacers were conference finalists, pretty controversially. They are still conference finalists, and we took them to 6 games without our best player, and Dame didn't even play some of the games. Chris was pretty much hurt all around the series, and we took them to 6 games. And we could have taken them to 7 if Patrick Beverley didn't foul Tyrese at the end. But yeah, I think Bucks fans need to know how to be more patient and, you know, just relax a little. Both sides of going to another team's subreddit, coming in peace, and also going there after a win or loss. Yeah, just don't go to other teams' subreddits or Instagram. Don't do that. Miami Heat fans are already doing enough of it. Don't do that. Like, don't go to troll. Don't go to be there like, oh yeah, you guys play, but do you know how aura-less that is? Like, you guys lose so much aura as soon as you guys say, yeah, good game, you guys are a better team, I'm coming. Shut up. If you lose, you lose. Just, you know, talk to your own fans. Why do you gotta talk to other people, bro? Like, just talk to your own fans. Like, I don't get the reason for you to even do that. The fans who think Goop can't draft. Who's Goop? They've been getting the late first round and second round picks for who knows how long. Yeah, that's true. I feel like we've been doing a better job compared to the picks that we got. Beauchamp is a good pick. He's just not getting a lot of playing time. I don't know why. Even the doc praised him. Andre Jackson was such a steal if you think about it. And then some of the picks that didn't really pan out on the Bucks, it panned out otherwhere. Like Kevin Porter Jr. He was a bucket getter for a while. Sam Merrill on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who would have thought the 60th pick would have been this good, right? He's a flamethrower on the Cavs, and I'm really happy to see him do that. But again, like, we draft these players, and how we kind of convert those is kind of important too. Because if we look at it, butterfly effect, we draft Sam Merrill, and with Sam Merrill, we got Grayson Allen. And with Grayson Allen, we got Damian Lillard. So drafting Sam Merrill equals Damian Lillard. Eastern Wrangler 595. They always see Bucks in, yeah, obviously Bucks in 6. That's the culture. Chris should have been gone years ago, but they pay him too much. All right, back to the thing. Questions like this. Eli Oop constantly complaining and acting like every game is a must-win game. Also very true. We can lose some. You always gotta lose 2 to make it Bucks in 6. If you know, you know. And the last one, meanness to other fans, us versus them within the fan base. People keeping receipts on each other's. People calling other fake fans and gatekeeping. Is he talking about me? He's not too wrong too. Yeah, that us versus them mentality is pretty tiring now. I feel like back then, like when the Bucks were when they were beginning to rise. When I first liked the Bucks, they were like 4th, 5th seed. And not they finished 1st seed, but then at the time they were 4th, 5th seed, and then the Bucks didn't have a lot of fans back then. It kind of made sense to be a us versus them thing. No one really recognized Middleton's work. No one really recognized, well, at the time, Malcolm Brogdon's work. You know, things like that. And the role players that we had, like Ilyasova was really good that season. Ilyasova was amazing that season. The Mirotic trade at the time, like looking back at it now, was terrible and he was disappointing. But when we first got him, he looked good. George Hill was a really good player. That's why, like, that was like an us versus them mentality. You know, they weren't really accepting us. They were just accepting Giannis and that's it. So yeah, that makes sense. But then now, everybody knows that, you know, Beasley can shoot the ball. Everybody knows that Bobby Portis is great off the bench. Everybody knows Chris Middleton is a certified star now. Everybody knows Dame, Giannis is good. They are just good basketball players. So this us versus them mentality, especially against media and the fan base as well, I guess, just doesn't kind of sit right with me anymore. Are we really that much of an underdog now? Media treats us like one, but it's because we act like one. We're always acting like, oh, but look at us. We don't need that. It's whatever. Like, MVP race, we do need that. But yeah, I do agree with this us versus them mentality. I am kind of tired of it. It seems like this is all the comments they made. Thank you for everybody who submitted this answer, 73 of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this on Reddit too, but if I do, I just want to say thank you guys for commenting this. Some of you guys that are up in here and that I disagreed, do better. Just kidding. But yeah, everybody, thank you for that. I mean, yeah, this was just a fun little different style that I want to put out there and try and see how it goes. It was a fun video that I made. It was divided into 2 parts, so you guys don't have to sit through like 20 minutes of it. But yeah, hopefully this time, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and the last video as well. And I really try and promise you guys, I try and not go on a hiatus. I have a lot more content, especially shorts content that are lined up, so be excited for those. But until then, peace out.